name is Inka and this is another episode of my new podcast. It has been a long break, but I'm back here and today I'm gonna show you all the projects that I worked on during the summer, so June, July and now the start of August. So we can start with my tank top that I'm wearing. This is the Rosamund tank by Tamara Jordan, so Starcrossed knits, and I've been obsessed with her patterns all summer and this is no different. I love this top. This was my project for, I went interrailing this July, so I brought this with me and it was very simple to take with me on traveling because you only needed 2 skeins of yarn for the size I'm knitting and 1 pair of needles. So it was very easy to bring with me and I finished this on my trip. I had a lot of trains and buses, so I had a lot of knitting time. Of course I was also looking at the amazing views all around Europe, but I wanted to do something. I made this using the Filcolana Arwetta yarn. I have never worked with this before, just holding it single, but I really like it. It's very soft and especially after plugging it, it really turned out very smooth. I had to close my windows, it's raining very hard, but I used this yarn. I originally had a sweater quantity of it, so I had like 7 skeins, but I just used up 2 for this. I kind of gave up on that sweater idea. So, and I love the color. It's the color number 243, I don't know the name, but it's this very pretty like bright green and I'm obsessed with the color. It's so nice. I knitted this in a size 1 and I used 3mm needles. It's a 28 stitch gauge, so that's perfect for me for a fingering weight and a 3mm and that gauge. It's perfect, so it was a very easy decision. I needed the size 1, that fits me very well. I would say that the pattern maybe recommends a size 2 for me, and you will see that later. But I decided to knit the size 1 because of my experience with the size 2 and it fits very nicely. It's more form-fitted, especially around the waist, which I like, and it's very nice. I of course could have used more yarn than the 2 skeins, but the 2 skeins was perfect for the length that I wanted. I can wear this with low-waisted pants and everything. And the lace is just so cute. It's also on the hem and it has a split hem. It's so pretty. And this is a super easy net. It's mostly stockinette, but the details are very fun to make. And you can see that my straps aren't really like holding this up. It's just a good amount of negative ease here so that it kind of stays up by itself. So I made the straps quite long so they could like stretch a lot, but they're not stretching because they're not like holding the weight of the top. I needed them to have 14 flower repeats and that was all fine for me. So that's my Rosamund tank, and I actually have another one that I needed in June. So because I needed this one and I really liked it, I decided to knit a second one. And this one is essentially the same, but I used Kinross 4-ply for this. It's a lovely yarn, it's so soft, it's even softer than the Arwetta, which I think it's very soft. This is super soft, but it's more fluffy. I don't think there's a lot of like stitch definition. When I blocked it, it kind of, yeah, it's a bit like fluffy looking, but I haven't worn this because I didn't take it on my trip and I was there for whole July. So I haven't tested it out yet. But this one is knitted in a size 2, which was my recommended size, so I knitted it of course. But when I was looking, like when I tried it on, I was like, this has like 0 ease on me, like no negative ease. I like negative ease on tank tops at least. So this is more loose, I would say, and it's a tad bit shorter because of course this one used more yarn than the smaller one, but it's otherwise the same. 3mm needles, fingering weight, wool yarn, 100% wool. It's very nice. On this because I needed the bigger size and I was a bit low on yarn. I think I had 410 meters. This one used 420 meters of yarn. So part of the back hem is knitted. There's like 3 rows in a different yarn. That's, I think you can tell it, but it's on the back. I have very long hair, so it covers it up. No one will tell. It's like kind of similar feeling, so no one knows that. But I love these tops. I don't think I'll knit a third one right away. Definitely kind of top. If I have 100 grams of fingering weight yarn, this would be like a very nice project. And it was very quick also. I think I knitted this in like a week and a half. Mind you, I was on holiday, but I was still like working and doing other stuff. But I didn't have to study, so it was very fast and very enjoyable to knit. It's mostly in the round. And this pattern has princess seams, and I really like that. It has decreases for the waist and then increases for the hips because it's a long pattern, so I really like it. So these are my Rosamund tanks. I love them. I think this is the second time we're wearing this. I just finished and plucked it, and I'm very lazy dressing in the summer, so I hope to get some wear out of this still in August. It's still a bit warm. This week is a bit colder, but I love these. And I love the color of this one especially. It's such a pretty blue. And the second yarn that I used on this, that's the exact same color, was from this project. They're the same color. This top, this is a long sleeve that I needed. So again, this is by Tamara Jordan. I've been obsessed with her designs lately. Well, I've been always obsessed, but I had only knit one. I've knitted the Ophelia blouse, which is essentially the same, but it has an open front, so it's a kind of a cardigan t-shirt. So this is the Ophelia top. So I needed the long sleeve version. It has these long kind of bell sleeves, so they have a bit of decreases and then a few increases for the bell shape. And I love this sweater so much. It's again like fitted. It has princess seams on the front and on the back, so decreases for the waist and increases for the hips. For this one, I think I made the waist decreases a bit more frequent. I took like only maybe 2 rows away from in between, and still the row amount is the same. I just think I needed more stockinette for the thin waist part than for the upper like rib cage part. The lace details are so pretty on this one, but it has this like very short lace and then these crochet picot edges, and this one also has a split hem, and I do really like it for this because it's more fitted, and of course at least my hips are wider than any part, so it's nice to have like a bit more space so it doesn't like punch up. It like falls very nicely, even though there is like increases. This gives like just a bit more space for the hips, so it's so pretty. I needed this in Sirdar Snuggly merino cashmere silk. It's a luxurious feeling. It's 75% extra fine merino, 15% silk and 10% cashmere. I think that's it. And it's very nice and soft and very shiny. I got this at a sale, like 50% off, so it was quite affordable. Like I think I paid like $4.70 a skein, and I used 7 skeins for this. But I didn't use them all. I think I might have like combined 1 full skein left, but I had them in 2 different dye lots, and the difference was very noticeable. Even in person, and especially knitted up. So how I managed this was not that great, but the kind of top part, I think up until like the underarm, is one color. And then for the body, then I started doing helical knitting for the rest of the body, so one round of each color, and then the lace I knitted in the different color than the upper part. And then I did also, then I used the initial color for the neck hole because it's all next to the one single color. And then again for the sleeves, I started with the initial color, and then after doing the sleeve cap, because it has this like setting sleeve, so short rows worked. Then like around here, I started doing helical knitting again for the whole sleeve, and then knitted the lace in the different color. That's like the best thing maybe to do. I think I should have done helical knitting like all the way. And I knew that I was gonna get 2 different color lots because when I ordered this yarn, they emailed me that they only have like 4 and 3. And I was like, that's fine. They were very different. So I don't think like you can like really see it in some lights. Like if there's like a bathroom and it has like very stark lighting, you can like see that it has like micro stripes. But I'm fine with it in natural light. I think it's fine. But again with this, I need this in size 2, and it has like 0 ease, and I think I would have liked it with some native ease. But I didn't realize because I needed my first Ophelia blouse in the size 2, and that fits me perfectly. So I just assumed that, and the like measurements like looked fine. But I don't know. And I would say that the neckline is maybe a bit like loose. Maybe I could have for the picot edge. Essentially, 1 crochet stitch per each knit stitch. Maybe I could have like skipped a few knit stitches, like every 5th or every 4th or something like this, to make it just a bit like tighter and lay flat. Now it kind of gapes out. I have photos on my Instagram of me wearing this, and I think it looks fine. But I think it's very cute. And I knit this in June. So in June I knit this and the Rosamund tank. So yeah, those were my June knits. Let's go to my next finished thing. I actually started this in June and knitted most of it in June, but I finished it like 4 days ago. And this is the Cognac sweater or blouse. I think it's sweater by someone, I don't know. I'll have the name. I cannot remember. It's again like a setting sleeve sweater, very light, kind of lightweight, but it has, you do kind of like a raglan. I don't know how to say it. Like, there's a word for this construction type, but I cannot recall it. But you knit it in a round. You knit the yoke in a round, but it has the same look as the Ophelia blouse with like the setting sleeve. It's so pretty. Let me show you the yarn because you can tell that they're very similar because the main color I used was the Filcolana Arwetta. It's a fingering weight, again, the sock yarn. And then I held it with this cone of mohair that was part of this whole sweater quantity. Yeah, so this, I have a lot of it. I have 120 grams initially. And I don't think this used a lot. I only used 2 full skeins of the Arwetta, and then I have this much left of the second skein, so maybe like 550 meters or something like this. And I initially had 1400 meters of this mohair, so I still have a lot. But now I'm feeling like kind of how many individual projects can I knit with this sweater quantity that was supposed to be just 1 sweater. I think I'll knit socks with my leftover sock yarn, and then I have an idea for a mohair blouse with that rest of this. I think it's gonna be enough. I got this in Latvia two summers ago. It's, I think, 30% silk, 70% mohair. It was like reasonably affordable. I got the 120 grams for 24 euros. So kind of around the same price range as like Drops Kid Silk, but I really like it. It's a nice mohair, and the color goes so nicely with this This top, again, I think I need in the size 2. It's knitted on 6mm needles, so I was kind of skeptic about that, just because the yarn combination, it's like a DK weight. So I was like, is it gonna be very loose? But I wore this today and it was really nice, like lightweight. It's like 17 degrees and quite windy, so this was perfect. And for this, I did my own sleeves. I did bell sleeves because I love them. I did 3 decreases every 15 rows, and then I did 6 increases every 6 rows, and then knitted 3 rounds and did a I-cord bind off. And there's also an I-cord bind off on the bottom hand, and I really like this. I think it looks very clean, even though I was worried that the gauge would kind of make it look messy. I think it looks very clean still, just because the I-cord finishing and the shaping is very neat. So these were my finished objects of the summer, and I think there was a clear color scheme. I mean, these are initially the same, these are literally the same, and I really love these. They're nice and bright, and I love this kind of bright green on me, even though it's a bit out there for me because of my hair. I usually gravitate towards more like natural colors, but I think it looks fabulous. Now let's get onto the whips, and I think this is the best one to continue with. This is knitted with some yarn that I got on my trip. I got this in Estonia, it was my last destination, and I got this Austermann merino cotton organic yarn. This is a fingering weight yarn with 55% wool and 45% cotton, and I really like this. It's it's a quite thin fingering weight. I mean, it has 230 meters for 50 grams, but I think it's very fluffy. It's quite loosely spun, so it's really nice. And I'm knitting another Ophelia top, this time the t-shirt version, and I have finished both of the sleeves, and I knitted one skein on the body. So this one skein on the body, and then the sleeves. I want to do the neckline next, and then just finish the body. And this one I'm knitting in a size 1, and I think it fits way nicer. It's just nicer around the shoulders overall. It's tight, but not too tight. It just falls more nicely than that bigger one. And I really like the yarn. It's this dark blue color. I really like this yarn, and I would love to use it more, but the color selection was a bit sad. So I don't know, maybe a white long sleeve would be nice in this like cotton. It wouldn't be so heavy if it's like half cotton. And the knitting experience with this, I think it feels like wool. I mean, it's a bit more wool than cotton, so maybe it makes sense, but it's very pleasant to knit with. And I'm using 3.5mm needles to knit this as well as I did the other Ophelia top. So I'm getting my use out of this pattern. There's also a version on the same pattern with like a tank top. I don't think I'll knit that. It's more like a vest style. It has kind of like thick straps. I don't know if I'm into that, but this I would definitely re-knit, and maybe knit one for my mom. She really likes this one with this color, so we'll see. Another project that I started after my trip with yarn from my trip are a pair of socks. Now, I have a friend in Germany that I went to visit, and her mom knits, and she gave me some like scrap sock yarns. She had a full bin of these scrap sock yarns. She doesn't knit socks herself. She had apparently got it from her friend, so I decided, since she doesn't knit socks, I'm gonna knit her socks with that yarn she gave me. But I'm just striping them. There's this dark green one, then a lighter green and a blue. And it reminds me like of a landscape. Like it has the sky kind of, then like a forest and a field. I really like this. I'm just knitting 64 stitch stockinette socks. I haven't knit socks in such a long time. I actually have to Google how to do the heel because I can't remember. But this will be nice, and this took me like 1.5 days, so I can knit socks pretty fast. I just did a 2x2 ribbing, and this is where my beginning of round is. I'm doing like a jobless stripe and I think it's working out well. I make sure to kind of make it loose so it doesn't like restrict the stretch on it, and I think it's working. I just have a bit more to knit on this before I do the toe, but these are very fast. And I'm doing 4 round stripes for each. I don't know what the yarn is. It feels like Regia soap yarn, Shahemai Regia. I don't know. Another thing, so a third thing I have cast off with the yarn that I bought on my trip, because I started using these yarns immediately because I was at my parents' house. Now I'm back in my apartment because my school started again, so I have to be here in the city. I was at my parents and I didn't bring a lot of yarn. I only brought the blue yarns and the green yarn for the project, so I didn't have anything else than these. So I bought this yarn. I don't have the bands anymore, I'm sorry. This is from WolleWien, so from Vienna, and this is their house brand, so WolleWien, that was the name of the store, but also the name of the yarn brand, Saria. And this is 100% silk. It's so nice. I got 2 skeins. So the thing about this top is I knit it halfway already. I knit a full ball of the body, a full skein of the yarn, and then I knit it has like a ruffle at the top. It's a very basic stockinette camisole with just ruffles and spaghetti straps and ruffles also at the bottom. So I knit a whole ball of the body and then the ruffle, tried it on and realized it was too big. And I knit the size 2 again, so I should learn. I should just knit the size 1 in these Tamara Jordan patterns. But I think it's maybe also because of the yarn a bit. It recommends a wool yarn. And I think because this is silk, it's a bit more drapey. So I don't think the top part was tight enough to support the weight of the ruffle, so it was flipping down on itself and wouldn't stay up, even though I tried to like put the straps in and see if that would help, but it was just like falling over. So I hope with making it tighter, the ruffle is gonna stay up. So I think I'll knit a bit more of the body. I have done the little bit of the front. The front is all, again, just a bit higher than the back. Knit the ruffle maybe a bit earlier so I can see the vision, if it helps that it's tighter. But I hope, because now I'm knitting the size 1 and that the finished measurement is gonna be 63 centimeters. It's gonna be full 20 centimeters of negative ease on me. That sounds a lot. I don't think I've knit anything that tight. The size 2 was supposed to have already like 10 centimeters, so I thought that was gonna be enough. So I hope this works out. I love the yarn. I love the color. It's quite like saturated dark green. I don't have anything in this green color. I have a lot of green things because it is my favorite color, but not this specific green. So this is my yarn situation. Not the ideal one, but it's fine. So those are the projects that I work on during the summer. I'm gonna show you one that I worked on a lot earlier. This is a hot mess. Oh my god. This is the Dagmar jacket by Petiteknit, and you can see how chaotic it is. It's a thick cabled cardigan. I have most of it knitted, but right now my thing is I don't know if I have enough yarn. I had 700 grams of this yarn and I think it calls for 700 or 800 grams, but I didn't know the meterage of this yarn. It just worked out with the gauge well. It's 16 or 18 stitches. I think I'm using 4.5 or 5 millimeter, I cannot remember. Yeah, I don't know if I have enough yarn. So you can see that the whole body is knitted. The bottom bands are in. I don't know how well you can see. I'm not holding this up well. But the next thing I want to do is knit the collar and then knit the other sleeve to match this sleeve. This is kind of at the length that I could knit a bit more of the cable, but I could also start the ribbing. And if I don't have enough to finish the sleeves in all of this yarn, I will knit the ribbing cuffs to be a different color. I don't know yet what color, but I'll have something in my stash that will work out with this natural white. This is some yarn that I got at a thrift store. It's 100% wool. It's Åland's wool, an original sheep from the Åland Islands, so it's very nice. I got like 700 grams of it for like 16 euros. So it was a very good deal. I have had this in stash for a long time, and this would be perfect for fall or like early autumn, just to wear like over, like in the morning, like over this outfit. Then in the day I could take it off. I have to get back into knitting this and figure out the yarn situation. It won't take a long time because it's quite a thick yarn, and honestly, even though it's like all over cabled, it worked out quite fast because it's very thick. I think I'm knitting the size extra small because it's my recommended size. I cannot remember. I have to maybe like count my stitches on the sleeves to figure that out. It's so pretty. Like, look at the sleeve cable also. It's so nice. I have to get back into working this. I started this maybe in April or May. Maybe May, I can't remember, but I didn't work on it during summer. I didn't take it with me because it's so big that it couldn't fit. I have to go to my parents by a bus, so I don't want to take too much stuff in the bus. I've been knitting a lot of like finger weight things, so it would be nice to maybe today I will pick up the collar and knit it, so then I can continue on the sleeves. I'm gonna show you now the rest of the yarn that I got on the trip. It's 3 different yarns. I'm gonna show you in chronological order to be so fancy. I got this one skein of this very fun yarn. It's called Crunchy, I don't know what, Vuna Crunchy. It was 4 euros 65 cents. And I got this in Croatia, in Rijeka. I went to Rijeka, it's a coastal city. I just got one skein of it, thinking I could make like cuffs and like ribbons in this. Or maybe use this with some other yarn and make like very fun mittens. I think this is mostly acrylic. No, it's not. It's 42% wool, 29% polyacryl, I don't know, 23% polyamide and 6% mohair. But I got it mostly for the colors and the textures. It's very like uneven and the colors are very fun. And I just got one skein of this. Then I got another yarn in Croatia. This one I got in a capital. I went to Zagreb and there I went to a yarn store. This is a Slovenia wool. I didn't go to Slovenia. I crossed Slovenia by train twice, but I didn't touch the ground in Slovenia, so I don't think I visited Slovenia. It's a Slovenian wool. I don't understand the label. It's probably in Slovenian, but it's 100% wool, and this is 300 meters. I haven't weighed this. It looks very big, but I'm guessing it's 100 grams. I think I want to weigh this again to check. But it's like a DK worsted weight, very natural wool. It says Mariborska, so maybe it's from Maribor. That's a city in Slovenia. I love the color. It's like a deep forest green. I think I'll use this. Maybe if I run out of yarn, I could knit the cuffs in the Dagmar cardigan with this. Maybe. But I think just use this for like a collar work. It's gonna be nice. This is quite rough. This is honestly very rough. Yeah. Maybe I will knit a swatch and see how it looks, if it's gonna be softer. Because then in Estonia, I got this yarn again. And I think this one is rough, but next to this one feels soft. This is Austermann yarn. And this is my favorite yarn, and I always get it when I go to Estonia. I go maybe like once a year or once in 2 years. And this is my favorite yarn ever. It's 100% wool. so good, cheap. This is 250 grams, so that makes me question the because they look the same size. Maybe this is more dense, but this is 250 grams. It's 100% wool, fingering white, weight 2-ply, just a white. I got this to use in a colorwork sweater with this sheep. So this one skein is gonna be enough to be this sheep. I want the sheep to be white. I don't know what yarn I will use for the main color yet, but I got this for that. And this was €7 for this whole hang, maybe a bit over, €7.5. Very affordable. And it's my favorite yarn. I've knitted a cardigan, a sweater with this. I might have this in stash still. Yeah, I'm also using this for a sweater right now that has been hibernating for so long. But yeah, so I have used a lot of this yarn, and I don't plan on stopping because I love it. It's just a very nice natural wool. I would say it's scratchy, definitely not soft like this, but you get it because it's a bit more of a natural yarn. Those are all the yarns I got. Yeah, I didn't get a lot. I mostly bought them during the later stages of my trip because I was backpacking, interrailing with a backpack, so I didn't have a lot of space, so I didn't want to buy a lot, and of course I didn't want to spend a lot of money because traveling in itself it's quite expensive already. But I think those were nice yarns, and I tried to get something I couldn't get here, and definitely that was with all the yarn. I could not get this in Finland, I don't believe so. I could order maybe some of them online, but they would be more expensive. So I think it was a success on the yarn buying amount. So yeah, that was all my knitting. If you're interested in my interrailing experience, I can talk about it maybe later in a podcast, end of a podcast, or maybe make a separate video and show you some photos, or I can put some photos at the end. But yeah, I was interrailing for 4 weeks, 28 days, so 4 weeks, and I had the time of my life. It was the best experience ever, and I got my Interrail pass for free from the EU, so thanks the EU for sponsoring my trip. They give them out for free they give them out free twice a year for quite many people in every European Union country, and I was so lucky to get it this year. And yeah, that was my knitting. It was nice to catch up with you, and I hope to see you soon. I really hope so. So comment on what you're knitting below, or comment something, I don't know, and have a nice rest of the summer. Summer is fading out here, but it's still there. I still have a month of summer, so yeah. So see you later, and bye bye.